Hello my friends and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft. We're in 1.18 and we've been here for a little bit now. In the last episode we built this lovely structure over here, this very useful structure. It is our cave spider grinder. And it works beautifully. My elytra has never looked better, my tools all look pretty decent as well, and I'm never gonna need more spider eyes again in my life. Now, although this is a lovely structure, and I had enjoyed building it immensely in the last episode, I'm not gonna be continuing here, at least not for the foreseeable future. This is going to be a standalone building for a while. We might come back to it down the line. Who knows, that might be the third village of the world. But for now I want to head back to our actual 1.18 village, and we're gonna build there again today. In between episodes, I've been a little busy. Not immensely so, just a little bit. You've probably seen this. My inventory. I have quite a bit of iron, I have a substantial amount of gold, that's a lot of gold for me, and I've got a little bit of copper as well. Now this has only been about half an hour of exploring that mesa. Just going in and out of its caves, lighting them up, and digging out all of the gold I can find. The iron and the copper, they're just bonuses. I went in there for the gold. That's a lot of gold for just half an hour. I mean, I spent hours mining for gold in the old world and never got anything. The sun is setting. I spent hours mining for gold in the old world and never got anywhere near that much. And I still need to fortune all of this. Let's get going. I'm just gonna come over here. This is where I've been doing this. And we're gonna jump up, pillar up, break down all of these resources and see how much we got for just half an hour of caving. 1.18 is probably the best update ever. I'm so happy. In my inventory I had a lot fewer copper ores than I had iron or gold for that matter. Look at that. What? How is fortune so effective with copper? That is incredible. That is honestly amazing. I'm so happy. So of all of this, I will smelt that up. The iron I'm not gonna smelt up, because I have iron. I have a lot of iron, and by the time I'm gonna need more iron, I think I'll be willing to go back to the old world and just use the iron farm again. No. I would rather have the raw iron blocks, because that's actually not a bad looking block. I kinda like it. And I might want to use that in the future. This all I will go and put in my little industrial smelter thingy that I have hidden down in that house over there. So that's just been me getting up to some stuff in between episodes and now bringing you up to speed again. But what are we doing in today's episode? Because I do have a plan. I had a plan, but then I went and did stuff in between episodes and now I have a different plan. A better plan. I'm convinced it's a better plan. Both involved us building a farm today. Neither of which is a big farm, though the latter I think is going to be a bigger farm than the prior. And it is the latter that I want to build. But what is the latter? Well, we found it in episode 21, when we first came to the 1.18 chunks. It is on the other side of that mountain, and it is not a very big or impressive one, but it is a dripstone farm. Or a dripstone cave. And I would like to build the farm for said dripstone, because look at this color palette that we potentially have here. Let's go outside. Or not outside, because I have a very big ground floor that I'm doing absolutely nothing with. So if we put down these blocks like so, that I think is a very nice color palette. A combination, a texture variation. Particularly, I think the dripstone goes quite well with the granite. Now that might just be me, but I think I'm willing to give it a try. But to do that we need a farm, because dripstone grows ridiculously slowly. So I want to set up the farm so that it can just get going. Now, the dripstone farm I'm planning on building is not a very complicated one, but it is an expensive farm. So we're going to need our redstone box. That can just stay right there for now. Because before I do that, I want to figure out kind of what building materials I'm going to use. And there is a building material in this game that I absolutely love. It was introduced in 1.17, but 1.18 has made it so much easier to get in large volumes. And no, I'm not talking about copper. Although I do like copper. I mean, I built that house with copper. No, not copper. The building block I'm talking about is that. That, my friends, is not diorite. No, that is calcite. And calcite is a beautiful block, and it generates on mountains. However, I don't want to take that calcite away, because I look at that mountain every single time I log into this world. So, I've got some rockets, I've got a shulker box, I've got basically a fully mended pickaxe. Let's go find another mountain further away from our home, from which we can steal calcite. And while we're out on an adventure, obsidian, that's terrible. That's absolutely horrendous. How dare you make me take you with me? And a gold block, never say no to gold, even though gold is a lot more abundant now, it seems. We're looking for calcite. There's another one. There we go. Ooh, this one has a bit more stuff in it. Some golden carrots. I'll never say no to that. Looting one, knockback. Gonna make me take this one as well. This is a lot of lava underneath here. I don't really have building blocks. Give me a second. I'm actually an idiot. I could have just put a water bucket down. Oh well. Up we go. Gold block. You, sir, come with me. Yes, I did bring a bed this time. And I know, in the last episode, I did have the yellow bed, and I thought I didn't. But now I have. I've double checked. While I'm out and about, I found a sunken ship with a treasure map. Let's go ahead and explore that, shall we? Ooh, and a village. Honestly did not know there was a village here. I wonder if there's anything good in this village, aside from, their bells. No one sees me, no one sees me. I was never here. Wow, this buried treasure is really close to where we found the sunken ship. Is this a flower forest? Hey, I didn't know they still existed. I thought they were replaced by the meadows. Okay, cool. I flew past it. Whoops. It is over here. Now apparently there is a trick to this stuff in terms of chunk borders, but that doesn't look like it would make sense at all, because the X looks to me like it is smack bang in the middle of a chunk. I guess we start digging then. I can turn that off. I hadn't planned on collecting a massive amount of sand, but yeah, no, this thing is just smack bang in the middle of a chunk. Anywho, got some good loot from it though. Emerald's always good, and a heart of the sea. I will never say no to one of those. I don't want the rest. We can continue our search. I think this might actually be one of those meadow biomes. Nope, this is a sunflower. Plains, village. Village! Hello, village! I'm gonna steal your wheat. That's a small problem. I don't need the dirt. Also don't need that guy anymore. Do they have a bell? So that I can, once again, never have been here before. Yoink! I was never here! I have found something very interesting, so let's just go ahead and take a nap as the sun sets. Pick up our bed. To the skies! Voila! Oh, and there's a village! I didn't even see the village. Look at this hole! I really like this hole. This hole gets even better, because we can fly straight through it. There's a mine shaft, and we can come out on the other side. How did I not see the village? I mean, it was right here. It's not a mine shaft. Oh, it is a mine shaft. It's a mine shaft and a village? Well, I mean, that's kind of interesting. I feel sorry for the villagers that live down there. Moving on, I found another interesting little place. I suspect this is the smallest mushroom island I've ever found. This is kind of adorable. I'm just gonna go ahead and screenshot these coordinates. That's handy. But as you can see, I'm 6,500 blocks out. And I haven't found anything. I'm convinced that I'm going in the wrong direction and there has to be calcite closer, but I'm gonna keep going for 19 more rockets, because then I'm halfway with my rockets and I'm gonna have to start turning back. 2 stacks of rockets later and 10,500 blocks. I have not found a mountain with calcite. I found an igloo. Oh. Hello, Mr. Igloo. Are you the one? Are you... It's not the one. There's nothing. Well, south is the way home. I've got 2 stacks of rockets left. Time to go back. I flew that far that I needed to come and mend my elytra. Okay, elytra mended, inventory cleared out, space made. I am still refusing to make use of the calcite on my mountains. I went that way, which should be north. Last time, yes. So let's go south instead. I'm not gonna touch this. I will not, I refuse. I have absolutely no idea where I am, but there's a little bit of calcite. That is not my mesa. I promise that's not my mesa. These are my coordinates. I'm way out there. Gone, and I got turned around somewhere somehow, so I don't even know what direction I've been going. But we've got some calcite. Whoa, whoa, frame drop. Frames, stabilize. Nope, they don't want to know nothing about me. Okay, I'm gonna collect this. Hopefully I can find my way back home. We're back. I need to mend again. It's not that bad, but it was not worth the effort of flying all the way back to 0, because I had no idea where I was. I thought I was going south. Somehow I ended up going west. I don't know. That probably wasn't worth it. But let's mend up my elytra and try once more. Can you guys see where it came out? I can. I definitely can. Also, everyone else on YouTube, they're getting mountain goats. I have mountain bees. That was very random. My point is, I have a lot more calcite. And this mountain is not very far from our home. This is my jungle. This is where we live. Here you can see my buildings coming in. I didn't actually want to do this. I knew about that calcite deposit over there, and I didn't want to go near it. But I'm kind of desperate. I've gone through 8 stacks of rockets at this point. I've had to heal my elytra 3 times now. I just wanted calcite. And that mountain is outside of render distance 99.9% of the time, so I think we're okay. So I took a bit of a break, and we're currently down at Y level -58. From here, it is just 1 layer down before you start hitting bedrock. And because that's bedrock, this layer, Y level -58, is supposedly the best layer to find diamonds at. Now, I'm not here specifically to find diamonds. I have a lot of diamonds. But I am here to collect a lot of cobbled deep slate and whatever else I can find down here. I did find some diamonds though, and I haven't collected it yet because I wanted to do this on camera. So there's some lapis. But again, I don't think lapis and diamonds are necessarily linked anymore, but I did find some diamonds. So, because I'm curious, let's go ahead and mine these out and see if it's just the one, because diamond ore generation has changed significantly. Okay, so it's not just one, it looks like it's two. It looks like it's just the two. Yeah, so 90% of the time, if I understand correctly, you're going to be finding a lot less diamonds by mining like this. Even though diamond generation is more abundant, they now generate in smaller clusters, usually. That being said, it is apparently possible to get massive clusters that go up to 12 to 16 diamond ores per. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case here. Okay, so 5 diamonds out of, what was that, 2 ores? That's not bad. That's not too bad. Anyway, I just thought we had a thunderstorm here at home. You might still hear a bit of thunder rumbling here and there, so I thought I might as well just bring this mine shaft down all the way to diamond level, ideal diamond level, because this is where I had been collecting deep slate, which was on -15. I thought, let's just give it a shot. That being said though, I don't think I'm going to use a single piece of deep slate in today's build. Instead, I've gathered a couple of resources here in the shulker box. However, there is one material that is sorely missing. And to obtain that material, it does require of us to leave the base a little bit. Because we're building a dripstone farm in today's episode, I think we might as well incorporate some dripstone in the build. And I'm going to need some dripstone at the very least to build the farm. So if we just fly over our Mesa mountain and come into this side of the mountain, see there is some dripstone over here. There's also, wow, a lot of mobs here. And that spider was annoying. Okay, come on zombies, you guys can all just follow me out here and burn. And I don't need to hit a single one of you, not even once. They were taking too long. And I got a little cold. I solved 2 problems with 1 stone. So, we need some dripstone from here. Now, this isn't a very large dripstone cave. This is it. This is all the dripstone this cave has. Hello, Mr. Skeleton. Ow, I fell in a hole. Yes, not a very large dripstone cave, but all I really need are some of these, which are fairly easy to collect. Fortune doesn't apply to them. There's another skeleton over there. I need to eat some of my carrots. Whoa, hello zombie. Fortune does not apply to dripstone. It does not apply to the dripstone blocks either. So, doesn't matter if you collect this with a silk touch or a fortune pick, you're going to get the same amount of material from it. Now, the farm we're going to build will require a fair bit of this. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time and I'm going to collect up, I think, all of the dripstone that's on the ground. So there was a lot more than I thought there'd be. I mean, 2 3/4 stacks of the actual pointed dripstone and a lot of dripstone blocks. And this stuff goes deep, like it's a chunk. That should last me a little while. Oh, and the sun is setting. Voila! Pick up our bed, and we can go home. I do just quickly need to break down all of the gold that I collected while collecting dripstone, and... oh yeah, I've cleared a bit of space here next to our little starter house. But I do believe that we now have all of the resources that we require for this build. I think. I'm not entirely certain what the outside of this thing is going to look like, but before we get to the outside, we need to build the inside, because I actually don't know how big I'm going to build this farm, and I don't know quite how much space we're going to need. So I'm thinking I want to do at least a stack of actual dripstone that grows. That also happens to be the maximum number of pistons that I currently have, so we'll use that as our going standard for this farm. So before I can build the whole farm, I need to kind of figure out how I'm going to be collecting these materials. Now in essence, this farm is very simple to build. It's basically going to be an upside down version of the bamboo and or sugarcane farm that I built earlier in this series. Still going to function with pistons and observers and things, but it does mean that collecting the items is a little bit easier, because there is nothing underneath these items to obstruct collection. So I can just put down some water, have it flow in a direction, and then collect in some hoppers. Now this stuff grows very, very slowly, and I don't think I'm going to need more than one double chest for it. In fact, I'm not convinced that I'm going to be able to fit enough of these farms in this little building space to actually make it worth it. I might need a much bigger farm, in which case I might dig down and go into the mountain a little bit and expand the farm in the future, but I think for now I'm just going to stick to this size. So the size that I have is determined by the dimensions at which water can flow. Right, so this line here is going to be my outside wall, so that doesn't count. But on this block I can place a water source block which will flow, including this block, 8 forward, which will end on this hopper. Okay, so that will collect here, which means I have 9 blocks wide here that are all also 8 wide up to this block, so that I can place source blocks on all of these and have water flow in this direction. So that's my collection system at this point, which means I need to build the farm above this. So I'm gonna start getting the walls in so I can get a better idea of this building, and so I can get this foundation built up, because this is gonna go down to there, obviously. And if you're wondering about the gravel, this was just a line that I placed. I liked having the trees and things here next to this building, because I come up here and in through here primarily to get to my storage and to my bed. Whoops. So I liked having the trees. So this was me counting out from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I cannot build on this line. So my wall had to start here. And that way I get to replant and make this place nice and green and dense again. Whoops. So let me get some walls, basic walls and things in, and then we can start figuring out exactly how tall to make our farms. I've figured out how to implement the farm, and I've built up half of it. I've got 2 of 4 rows built, and you can see here on this side that I've built this, and I've got observers here on the very end. So these observers detect when the 2 pieces of dripstone right in front of them, only those unfortunately, reach a length of 3. At that point the pistons will break down the bottom 2 and leave the top one to keep growing. It works exactly the same way as my sugarcane farm does, it's just turned upside down. The blocks will fall and will be collected, and this collection system does work, and it brings all of the loot and everything to this chest over here. So that's one farm, one half of the farm down. Unfortunately, in this building I can only manage to fit 16 pistons worth of this farm, which means I can only fit 16 pieces of dripstone at a time, which is half of what I had wanted to implement, but that's okay. We're gonna stick to that, and we're gonna see how that goes for us. We'll leave it running for an episode or 2, and if it's really not efficient enough, then we'll break through into this mountain and we'll double or triple or quadruple the size of this farm, depending on the results of the first 32. A quick and simple rundown on how to build this farm. You need a row of pistons and a row of solid blocks above them. These blocks need to be able to conduct a redstone signal, so anything like stone, even wooden planks, those sorts of things will all work. I like to use polished andesite. And then you'll need some observers. These observers you want to place not underneath your pistons, but one next to them and one over there, with its redstone signal flowing away from them. You can then break out those temporary blocks and place another solid block over there. Redstone can run up this line, and in my instance with 8 pistons you end up with a redstone line of 11, so you don't need any repeaters. This observer can power all of this redstone and thus power all of your pistons. So if we were to place a temporary block in front of this observer to show you how these pistons will fire, it's very quick, but you can see that the very last piston does fire. Now we can come over here and break it. There you go, all 8 pistons do fire, which is exactly what you want. Having repeated the same redstone on the other side, we can then begin to place our... There you go, that one grew. Place our dripstone blocks in. You want to place these not directly above your pistons, but 2 blocks above your pistons, because you need a spot for your actual dripstone pieces to be suspended. Those can also be put in at this point, I believe. Yep, they do not require water to be inserted first. Whoops. I keep not making that jump. There we go. The other side is a bit harder. Not really. But you do have to come through underneath your farm to put these in. Once those are in, you now need to provide water for these dripstone blocks, because that is what makes your dripstone grow. It is the water that kind of seeps through your dripstone block and runs down your pointed dripstone, and then makes them grow. However, you have redstone in the way, so you can't just place redstone anywhere. You can't just place water anywhere. Excuse me. So we need to box in our water. That's quite simple. We can just add more of these blocks here, like so, and now you have a nice little trough in which water can be placed. Now, it doesn't have to all be source blocks. I just like making it all source blocks because of neatness. Hello, Ocelot. I forgot the name of that. I was almost going to call it an axolotl. Wrong creature. Pick up a block. And that is essentially this farm done. You can now see there is water dripping down these ends, which means they will grow. And once this last one grows to in front of this observer, the pistons will pop them off. So with that, our farm is officially completed. It is not a big farm, it is not a complicated farm, but it is done. However, at this point it is a big cube, a massive undecorated block that now needs to be made pretty and appealing. So I'm thinking that I want to try and use that jungle wood as a roofing material. So I've gathered the jungle wood that I got from chopping down this tree, and I'm going to need a crafting table, which I don't have. Guess we're making one. So I'm thinking of trying that jungle wood out as our roofing material, because we haven't tried that yet. So I didn't want to make slabs. Well, I derped. Okay, jungle wood slabs go in there, and we try it again. There we go, now we have jungle wood stairs. However, I tend to prefer to build roofs similar to how we did our Moss Farm's roof in the previous episode, with a trim. I believe our copper roof building, it's not a farm, also has a trim. Yes, it does, however these two do not. I like using a trim, so I would like to use a trim here as well. I don't know what I want to use for said trim. I mean, we could try and use some more of this polished granite, but I think that's going to be a bit much. Maybe we try and use a color more closely resembling the acacia logs. Well, there she is, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. I've got the roof in, and I decided on going with a stone and stone brick stair edge, into which a jungle wood and granite stair roof is in set 1. I've also got 3 of these little gable edges to either side, and I'm quite happy with that. I think that makes the roof look very interesting. We've also faked some windows all around this thing, because I can't really cut into those walls. Those walls are what's keeping the water back in a lot of the cases. So all it is, I've got some polished andesite stairs top and bottom, some stone brick walls in the middle, and then some spruce trapdoors to pretend like this building has closed window shutters. And now, in the daylight, you can see it a bit different, a bit better. I've also textured the bottom a bit more by adding some granite stairs, and I wish there was a dripstone stair variant, but oh well. And that gives it a bit of depth, because that's a very large flat wall that now looks like it's been chipped away a little bit by the elements. I mean, a large surface like that, it kind of makes sense that it would be weathered a bit, and I've done that all around again as well. Unfortunately, if we make our way into the farm, none of it has triggered yet. We haven't had a single harvest from this farm just yet. It is growing all over, just very, very slowly. And if either this dripstone spike or either of these 2 dripstone spikes had grown in front of these observers, I can guarantee that we would have had a harvest. So I think I need to AFK just a little bit, I don't know how long it'll take, just to make sure that this does work and that we do collect a bit of dripstone. I think I heard it. I think I heard it. I did some planting, some foliaging, some fencing, so that's all cut off, but that's not the important part. No. Aha! We have pointed dripstone. And it was this one that fired. See? All of these are nice and short again, which means the farm works. Yep, it fired on both ends. I was expecting it to do that, given that the redstone is all linked up here. But that is wonderful news. That means the farm actually works. It is a success. It is just slow. That was only 12. It is slow, but a success nonetheless. And with it being a success, I think now is as good a time as any to call it an episode. I'm pretty sure I've run quite over time at this point, so my friends, if you've enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and check out my social media. I have a Discord, Twitter, and Instagram accounts all linked down below in the doobly-doos. My friends, until next time, have an absolutely brilliant one.